pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Council activity reports. We'll start with Paul.
I have only one thing, and that was the air show. Other than that, I don't have anything to report.
And I heard that was well attended,
Very well.
but
Yep.
no motorcycle jump.
No.
It's too windy, I heard.
Well, it rained about 2 minutes before he was going to jump. It sprinkled, and once the clouds left, blue sky, but everyone's got it.
Better safe than sorry.
That's true.
Megan?
I had policies and procedures. We talked about the changes to the earned sick and safe leave policies. I had a library meeting. We had kind of a kickoff with the architect, and then an EDAP meeting where we discussed what's going to be on new business D. So we'll go into more detail at that time. That's it for me.
Donna?
I went to the air show. That's it. Pretty slow couple weeks.
I had EDAP Tuesday morning, and we talked about some downtown buildings that are for sale, and if the city is interested, and that's on tonight's agenda. Then Tuesday night, we had the fire department annual meeting, and talked about the new truck and how the cost of doubled on the price of a fire truck. Talked about the new building, which got an email from Tarek that that's been denied again for funding.
Yep.
So we'll try again next year. And the chief talked about OSHA requirements. The one was like the fire truck tires, even though it's very low miles, when they're 5 years old, they must be replaced. So costs are going up, up, up. And then Wednesday, I had the Green Roof Senior Center monthly meeting. And the biggest thing there was they're watching all the activity at the new liquor store, and they're getting a new dishwasher. And so they got a nice grant to cover that, so we're in good shape there. Department head reports. Dan?
Well, our aerated pond is holding up pretty well. We added more to the pond today and it's holding up. The DO didn't drop, so fingers crossed, we just keep moving in a positive direction there. We closed on our new public works building on the 20th. Pulled trucks in there, truck in there. Guys were having a hard time pulling a 12-foot plow and a 12-foot door, so we're looking at some possibilities there that may come back and visit with you. Went to training in Waconia with Lee last Wednesday. It was a good training. We got to see some new stuff. Lee got really lucky with the drawings. He had a good day. And just keep busy trying to get everything mowed and taken care of.
Summer's winding down, I believe. Vets Park, we open up them gates after
Labor Day.
Yep. So then we can drive through again. Jerk?
All right. Yeah, I was at the policies and procedures meeting as well, and as Megan mentioned, we talked about the changes in the ESST law. They're changing, lunch times now. Instead of an 8-hour shift, you get a lunch with a 6-hour shift. And then sick days, a note is required now with 2 days of absence instead of the 3 days. So these are just recent changes in the law that we were looking to implement. I was also at the library meeting, and as Megan mentioned, there was a kickoff meeting with the architect, the fire contract or annual fire meeting, EDAP as well. And then, yes, as you mentioned, Neil, the public safety grant we're seeking. This is on the federal level. It was sponsored by Senator Tina Smith. And when it got to the final bill draft in Congress, it did make it, so we can try again next year.
Very good. Public comment?
Oh, this is the time.
Yep, why don't you go to the mic?
I actually don't have anything that I'm commenting on, other than I'm the new Grace Church clergy in town. I started July 1st, and it's part of my civic duty, and that's my husband, Brad, by the way. I'm Cindy Spear. I'll be seeing you guys every month. I'll be coming, hopefully, for each of the meetings. So we're very happy to be here and part of Painesville.
Okay.
Welcome.
And they get to see me weekly.
Oh, goodness.
Joe, did you have anything for comments?
No, we're talking about the, yeah,
So, yeah, that's okay.
he's here for another topic.
Right, okay. Well, then we'll go to the consent agenda. Minutes, we had July 3rd, Park and Tree Board, July 14th, City Council, July 14th, Public Works. And then the vouchers, $258,138.97. And that's it for the consent. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Just a
Second.
second, sorry.
Reading. I would second unless
Okay.
she wants to.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Carried. Old business, we have one thing on the new handout. AMPI shared well agreement, well and water line utility easement. Who wants to talk on that?
I'll let Chuck talk about that one.
Sure. So as part of the property that AMPI is purchasing out at the wastewater facility, there's an existing well on that property, their portion that they're buying. So basically what this easement does, it gives the city the right to continue to utilize that well and water line for the pre-treatment building that will remain on the city's property. So that's really all that easement is for.
Unless anybody's got any questions, there's a motion there.
I'll move to approve the shared well agreement and well and water line utility easement between the city of Painesville and AMPI.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second to approve shared well agreement, well and water line easement between City of Painesville and AMPI. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. New business, hiring of part-time liquor store clerks. Is that yours, Chuck?
Yep, we interviewed and recommending hired 3 clerks and Barr, Frogel, and Ritt. And we got them already ready to go and just looking for your final approval.
Did 3 part-time clerks leave recently? I thought there were only 2.
There were 2, I know that, Bill was looking to train and bring on some more just because he wants to adjust some of the hours and
Okay,
balance it all a bit better.
all right.
Because there's one particular employee who might work 1 or 2 shifts a month,
Okay,
so that's why it's, 3 is probably more ideal than 2.
sure. Then I'll move to hire Maya Bear, Karen Frogel, and Wesley Ritt as part-time liquor store clerks effective immediately at grade 1, step 1, $18.39 per hour.
I will second.
Motion and second to hire 3 new part-time liquor store clerks, grade 1, step 1, $18.39 an hour. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And Terry said they were already approved because we're that short to put them to work, so.
Temporarily appointed, let's say.
Yep, that's good.
Well, I hope that goes well. It's a good job.
City Employee Appreciation and Recognition Event.
Yep, as you know, we've been doing this every year now. September obviously is a good month for us to do it in. And this year, we're looking to host it on Tuesday, September 23rd, from 3 to 4:30 at Shady's. Every year, we try to do it somewhere different. And it also means that City Hall will be closing at 3 p.m. that day.
Have we done it on Tuesday previously?
I can't remember when it was last year,
either.
but it was, I mean, obviously it was sometime during the week.
Okay.
So we're seeking your permission to close City Hall at that day at 3 o'clock. And obviously, you guys need to attend as well.
Any other discussion or motion?
I'll move to close City Hall on Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025, from 3 to 4:30 PM for the annual Employee Appreciation and Recognition Event.
I know we just, everybody signed the certificates. We got 30 and some 25 employees, so
Yeah, it'd be
that's
nice.
quite a accomplishment. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second to close City Hall Tuesday, September 23rd, from 3 to 4:30 in order to do the Employee Appreciation and Recognition event. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Key hanger lease.
Yep, Dan has more information than I do on this one.
Yeah, you'll notice that they're signed for April, beginning of April, because somewhere in the transition between Ron and I, that got missed to renew that contract. But Bob Braun has been in that hangar the whole time. So just visit with him, drew up a new contract, he'll back pay the whole thing, so the whole year will be paid for. And we'll start that contract from there.
And if I'm reading this right, it's $175 a month, $2,100 annually.
Believe
Yep.
so.
And just to note, based on previous airport and board and city council board, beginning in January 2026, the rates will be going up 5%.
Okay.
So notice will be sent out at that time to the people leasing the current hangars.
Any other discussion, or do we have a motion?
I'll move to approve the airport T hangar lease between the City of Painesville and RMB Bob Braun.
A second?
I will second.
Motion and second to approve the airport hangar lease, City of Painesville and RMB Bob Brown. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Down to our last item. Purchase of 114 James Street. And that is the, what I call a Cushel building. Now it's got a sewing operation in it.
Yep.
Joe, you wanted to talk to us?
I can if you want me to.
If you want to give the backstory, and then maybe Neil and Megan can talk about the EDAP meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
The background to that is that the building is, I was asked to speak to the owner of the building, and I did, and he has it for sale. He wants to reorganize his sewing operation. He's only has 3 employees at the time, so he's going to have one retire at the end of the year, one is going to go work out of her home, and another one will go to his Sauk Rapids plant. So he wants to sell the building, and I think that in our long-range plan that we were talking about, the ad hoc committee, that this whole corridor would be ideal for redevelopment as far as getting some new building. In order to get any type of a investor and/or developer interested, you have to kind of have control of the property, and this is a prime opportunity to get that property, since you already have so well done getting the corner drug property. That's getting the toe in the water, as I call it, and you're starting that process to get that corner, and can work around the corner to get something else, but one at a time. This gentleman is eager to sell, and we're eager, as far as the ad hoc committees, we're eager to sell. We had an EDAP meeting the other day, and for those people that were there, I'm sorry about hashing over the same figures again, but anyway, the EDAP committee, I guess, they did go and decide that they should pursue this, and they dedicated some money from their funding, and now I guess it's up to the council to come and either give the city administrator the permission to do the arranging, and also the talking about the buying of it and coming up with a figure. So we know what the tax rate is on it, tax adjusted value, et cetera, which is, I think the tax adjuster that we've had at the city has been inconsistent about coming up with the values of properties, but anyway, that's what we have to work with. And so that's our ad hoc committee. I've talked to Jeb Johnson, who is the chairperson, and he agrees, and of course, we haven't had a meeting now in a month and a half, but I think it's a good step if we can get that property to be able to get a developer interested in doing something down there. You need to have control of the property, and that's our aim, and that's our recommendation. Now it's just up to you folks to go and see if that's if you have any questions about that, or how we expect it to go.
Okay.
Any questions?
Well, Neil, you and I were at the EDAP meeting, so we probably don't have any questions, but does anybody else?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. We can,
I think as far as the overall concept that we need to do something down there, everybody's known that for years, and unfortunately, no one has had the impetus to do something, get it started. And I think we now have it, and the fact that you folks authorized to buy the corner drug building, I think it was a very good, smart start. As tremendous as our city is, the school system and the hospital system and the airport and the golf course and the lake and all the other fine things, this is one of our blights that we have down here is the downtown. And we've recognized that for years, and what are we going to do? You have to go and make these first steps. We kind of, I think we brought this up before, we're kind of looking at a model that we went and looked at last spring at Battle Lake, Minnesota. They had the same thing, and they tore down some old buildings, had to buy the properties, tore them down, put up a nice big building down there, and they have shops on the lower level and apartments above, and it's a different situation than we have. They're right on the lake, and they have, it's a big tourist draw and so on, but they filled up the apartments, and, we can only dream that it would happen, that we get the shops filled up too, but this is all up, this is, these are all things that we could think of. Who knows, maybe company will want to buy the whole thing and develop it, we don't know that. But we have to have control of the property, and I think that those blighted pieces of property there are there now, and I think that it would be wise for the city to make that investment.
I have a question. What does the city intend on doing with the property?
Demolishing it. I mean, that's kind of what we would have to be looking at, so.
It would be a tear down, just like the corner drug does.
Do you want to open it up for discussion, or do?
Yeah, we can. The EDAP highly recommended going ahead with purchasing.
Yeah,
We already have the old corner drug building, and we probably were sitting on it because to get the tear down grant, it has to sit empty a year. So, and this would probably be the same scenario if we purchase it.
Yeah.
But they're purchased to tear down and then try to get a developer to come in and help make the city beautiful. I guess that's the long and the short, Rachel.
I have one concern about that. That would be making some sort of contingency in case there's asbestos that's gonna take more than what would be expected in a normal tear down.
How much does the grant cover, Derek?
Well, the grant covers 50%, and what I was gonna mention also is that the grant is very competitive too. So if we apply the first time, it doesn't mean we're gonna get it, but the benefit, or, one of the upsides of the grant is that you can apply twice a year, February and August.
and if there are hazardous materials, it's actually,
You have to wait till it's vacant a year.
Yeah.
yeah. But if there are hazardous materials, there are actually other grants that might even be easier to get that would cover it, honestly, right, Chuck? Nodding over there?
Yeah, part of the process with the demolition would be having a hazardous inspection completed.
Yeah.
To identify those type of items.
Okay.
So if the mayor were here, he's talked a few times about not wanting the city to get into the landlord business or the real estate business, and I think that's understandable, really. However, I think that I'm worried we might miss an opportunity if we, because, for instance, with the liquor store that we're building now, we saved how much money because we already own that land. So if this were to happen, we could have a developer come in, or we could have a great project in, and we could say, wouldn't that be swell if we could put it downtown? But we can't because we don't have any land, and what we do have is going to be so prohibitively expensive to purchase and tear down, whereas if we have it already, then,
Oh, I don't know,
Go back here.
you're running.
I goofed up.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, it's so we all know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's the red, orangish colored building right on James there.
so,
We already own the one on the other side of it,
Yep, which is what I was gonna show you, that one there.
which we call the old corner drug.
I think that it would,
Both buildings are in
shame.
very bad repair that,
yeah.
If you don't mind, I'll pass a few photographs here of the downtown, just like you have there right now, and then superimposing what a newer building would look like on that corner. We have a number of options as far as, this is one type of could be a strip mall like that, could be,
I have one other question also then, is that we've got a street improvement project coming in, what, 29? What's that gonna do? If we purchase this along with the old corner drug, that's gonna affect the repayment or the property taxes, or the taxes that are, what am I trying to say, for the curb and everything?
The assessments?
Assessments, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, we're hoping that by that time, by 2029, we can have the buildings torn down, and if they are torn down, they would be used as, you know, like a temporary parking or something like that
Sure.
for downtown, until a developer comes in and develops it. And if we are doing a street project and the properties are available, that should be more enticing for a developer.
If you have
Okay.
something like that on that corner, that's.
When-
Well, and I know that a lot of the businesses downtown have concerns about what parking's gonna be like when this street project is being done, so if we had
But-
parking lots, so
can you
much
imagine if
better,
it did?
really.
Does anybody know the square footage of Corner Drug and the ZAP building?
I have it.
Just,
And these are approximations.
that's close enough for me.
The corner drug is 175 by 36, you have to do that quickly, but that whole area, well, 170 by 36, the ZAP property, or commercial property, is 60 by 175, and that is about 14,000 square feet there. Because you've also talked about the possibility of the Tux building, which I think needs to be part of this whole thing, but that's another discussion. But you have about 21,000 square feet available there, including the corner drug building. So there's a lot of room there. The way that photograph that shows, it shows that the area of the property where the corner drug is would, at least now, until somebody comes up with a different idea, would be suitable for the parking necessary for those businesses there. Because that's one thing we've always lacked, is a city parking lot, or city, any amenities. And you don't have the apartments above, they'd have to have their own, if this would be the way it'd go, they'd have to have their own parking. So, but until you can talk to a developer, they want to know how much property you got to work with, and this is what we're dealing with now. But, yeah, it's just gotta, it can't be done just waiting for somebody to come. You can't do one little piece at a time, because who's going to go tear down the corner drug and put up a new building? On both sides of it, old derelict buildings. So, you have to almost be able to, and the issue of asbestos, that is always a problem. Any old buildings are full of asbestos, just in the plaster and all, whatever else they have. So it all has to be worked out. But this has been an issue of our ad hoc committee. If we're going to be doing the downtown streets, which now is 2029, I think it's a fair time to do it, that we should be able to have some idea of what we're going to do it for some new rehabilitation downtown. And as a matter of fact, that's part of your comprehensive plan that you have approved, is to reinvigorate the downtown. So this is the start of it.
I just think, considering the rigmarole we had to go through to get that land for the library, none of us looks back fondly at that. I think that, it would just be a shame if an opportunity did come up and it
Well,
would be a good spot for it, and we don't own it,
We all know what we could have bought Corner Drug for 4 or 5 years ago,
Yeah.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
and we paid 3 times that much.
We don't want it to be 9 times as
So,
much next
I mean,
time.
It's true.
Sleeping on it doesn't necessarily
No.
make it better.
And they're not going to just magically get rehabilitated overnight by themselves either. And,
But,
a bare lot's better than what we have now.
And I guess the EDAP meeting is record, so they committed $35,000 towards the purchase of that.
Because that's what was paid towards
So-
the corner drug purchase.
If the city matched it, we're at 70. The tax value, Joe, I think was.
It was 87,000, I think, was the latest tax value.
Yeah.
And of
It's
course, that's
negotiable.
what the guy would love to get, but that's probably not realistic, but
How much notice do we need for closed session? 10 days?
Yeah, to discuss actual offers.
Negotiations,
We gotta do a closed session. But I think there's enough interest that we should probably pursue that.
Well, just for that interest, timeline-wise, when I had the discussion with this gentleman, he would like to, I mean, he seemed to be eager to sell. He also said he'd like to have that done by November 1st. I don't know why that was his, but he brought that up. I didn't bring that up to him when I talked to him. So he has his own reasons for wanting to get it clear so he can move and consolidate his operation in Sauk Rapids.
Well, our next meeting, and we could do that, would be the 8th of September.
I guess to me, the next logical thing would be to authorize Tarek to go and start negotiations with him and then come out to see where you might be and then have to come back in closed session and come and approve or disapprove.
You can certainly talk with them, you can't give them
Yeah.
you can find out how far from that 87.
Well, he, of course, like anybody else, he wants as much as he can get.
Right.
He says he knows what he paid for it, he probably paid too much, like a lot of people, but whatever, he admits that the building is deteriorating, not worth putting any money into. So, anyway, I don't think, when you talk about how much money you have invested in there, depending on what it would take to buy that corner up and so on, I just throw a figure, let's say $200,000. You have this property that Furchies are looking at, and if I don't know how that negotiates good, you'll sell that for $1 in that city property. So, it's not how much money you're gonna get back, it's what your investment's going to be to get something done, so.
I think we should just approve Tarek to start negotiations and see where we end up.
But should we schedule a closed session?
Yes.
Yes,
In 2 weeks, you can talk to him once or twice.
Yep.
so we're just kind of sending you out on a fact-finding mission until the next meeting when we hold a
Well,
closed
we'll try to
session?
narrow down the numbers that.
Do we need a motion to declare closed?
Yeah, and to approve Tarek to do it.
You want to make that?
Sure. I'll move that we will hold a closed session at our next city council meeting so that we can have a full council in attendance and discuss negotiations. And until that time, approve Tarek to see where his head's at. Say that as professionally as you want to.
We should also think of, the next council meeting is going to be on the 15th, is that correct?
No, the 8th.
Okay, I don't have a calendar in front of me, so if it's on the 8th, then, yeah, okay.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second to authorize Tarek to start negotiations with the gentleman that owns that
His name is
building and
Scott Yashik, I've got it down here, but
I have his contact information.
and to have closed session on our next council meeting, the 8th of September. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I applaud the council for moving.
Thanks, Joe. All we got left is the information, and it was just the calendar for September and October.
you,
We
Joe.
are adjourned.
Okay. That was a long